We've all been in a conversation where we felt attacked. It's like we started talking about one thing and then the other person twisted our words. Before we knew it, we lost our cool, lost respect in their eyes, and maybe even acted poorly. Now I don't usually cover the same topic twice in a row, but this interview between Cathy Newman and Jordan Peterson is too interesting to pass up. It's a great opportunity to discuss how to handle someone who uses sneaky tricks in conversation to make you look foolish. In this video, you'll see some common tricks people might use on you, and you'll also learn how to turn the tables so that you can come out of a tense situation with more respect than you had before. Number 10. So you're saying trap. To stop someone who's being too pushy in a conversation, you need to notice what's happening early on. They often show their aggressive side through their tone of voice and the words they use. For example, when Cathy asked Jordan if it bothers him that mostly men listen to him, she's implying he's done something wrong. This is a sign that she might attack him. Even when people are passive-aggressive, they often hint that they're going to attack you before they do. So if someone says something like, "What do you have to say for yourself?" Be careful. They might try to trap you into saying something you don't agree with so they can argue against that instead. One common trap is the "so you're saying" trap. It's when someone mischaracterizes what you've said, like, "So you're saying women want to dominate?" To avoid this, you can simply clarify what you meant by saying, "Actually, what I was saying is," and then repeat your point. Number 2. Assuming the sale. There's a tricky way people might twist what you think and then argue against it. It's like when a car salesman assumes you're buying the car before you even decide. They might say, "Do you want leather or fabric interior?" making it seem like you're already buying. In conversations, this happens too. For example, if someone asks, "Why should women put up with it?" They're assuming two things: that there's something to put up with that, and that you think women should. If you just answer without realizing it, you might end up defending something you don't believe. Instead, notice these sneaky assumptions and call them out. Listen carefully to catch what's not said. For instance, when someone asks, "Why should women put up with it?" you can reply, "I'm not saying they should, I'm saying..." Another example is when someone says, "You want your followers to quit your abuse?" They're assuming your followers are abusive. Instead of just responding, you should address this assumption first. It's hard to spot these assumptions in real time, but you can make it easier by staying relaxed, taking pauses, and understanding frames in conversations. Check out more about this in other videos like the one about Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones. Number 3. Smash technique. Moving on, the next tactic in conversations is called the smash technique. Cathy uses this technique when she combines two different terms, abuse and anger, in a way that makes it hard for Jordan to respond without seeming to agree that his followers were abusive. This tactic is frustrating because it embeds hidden statements that you might disagree with and moves past them before you can address them. It's like when people bombard you with questions to overwhelm you into accepting their points. To handle this, slow down the conversation and tackle one question or point at a time. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. The best policy is to stay calm and focused. Moving forward, let's talk about how to persuade someone in these situations. Even though it seems like Jordan is not trying to change Cathy's mind, but simply to debate in front of an audience, there are still valuable tips to learn. First, don't misrepresent the other person's ideas, even if they're doing it to you. Instead, show that you are genuinely engaging with their points. Ask them to repeat themselves if you need to understand better. Second, make sure they can understand you. Use visual imagery and concrete examples to make your points more persuasive and emotionally impactful. Lastly, sometimes the best way to get someone to change their position is by gently showing them that they already agree with you. Instead of trying to prove them wrong, find common ground and build on that. Remember, the goal is not always to convince the other person, but to have a constructive debate. If you have any thoughts or questions, leave a comment below. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to join the discussion. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.